He's also
2, and Wolf at 14.9.
These two guys have been a power in the ACC and for North Carolina. Kenny Smith has explosive speed, just tremendous speed, which gives him a great defensive ability. He's also very intelligent on the court and makes good decisions when to make that steal. And, you know, we talked about Joe Wolf a moment ago, very powerful inside and is a good outside shooter as well, runs the court very well. So you got the big guy inside who's very mobile and the very quick guard outside, and that's a great combination.
We mentioned Kenny Smith as one of the outstanding players. He has been the idol of one of the Purdue players. That's Everett Stevens, and he may be a key. In fact, Coach Katie was very impressed with the performance of Everett Stevens, and Dean Smith says he has certainly improved since they played them in the Great Alaskan Shootout.
I think that's one of the things that the Boilermakers really pointed at last year, was that Everett did have to improve. He had to do a lot of things to take over that point position, and he's done those. He's gotten stronger. He's worked on his quickness.
Introducing first, with a season record of 8 victories and 1 defeat, currently ranked the #4 team in the nation, the Tar Heels of the University of North Carolina. Presenting first, a 6'4" freshman guard from Rural Hall, North Carolina, #3, Jeff Denny. A 5'7" freshman guard from Wadesboro, North Carolina, #11, Rodney Hyatt. A 6'3" sophomore guard from Carlisle, Pennsylvania, #14, Jeff Lebo. A 6'6" sophomore forward from London, England, #20, Steve Bucknall. 6'2" senior guard from Henderson, North Carolina, #21, Michael Norwood. 6'11" senior center from Kohler, Wisconsin, #24, Joe Wolf. 6'3" senior guard from the Queens, New York, #30, Kenny Smith. Not suited for tonight's game, #32, Pete Chillicott, freshman 6'8" forward. A 6' junior guard from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, #33, Ranzino Smith. 6'9" freshman forward from Virginia Beach, Virginia, #34, J.R. Reed. 6'10" senior forward from Ashley, Pennsylvania, #35, Dave Thompson. 6'10" freshman center from Hacienda Heights, California, #42, Scott Williams. 6'5" senior guard from Durham, North Carolina, #43, Curtis Hunter. And 6'9" freshman center from Marion, North Carolina, #45, Marty Hensley. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the Tar Heels, Dean Smith, and the other members of the North Carolina coaching staff. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with a season record of 7 victories and no defeats, currently the #2 ranked team in the nation, the Boilermakers of Purdue University. Introducing first, 6' senior guard from Delphi, Indiana, #12, Tim Fisher. 6'9" sophomore forward from Lafayette, Indiana, #15, Ryan Birney. 6'5" senior forward from Washington, Illinois, #20, Doug Lee. 6'2" junior guard from Evanston, Illinois, #21, Everett Stevens. 6'4" junior guard from Anderson, Indiana, #23, Troy Lewis. 6'3" freshman guard from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 25, Tony Jones. 6'8" sophomore guard from Decatur, Indiana, number 30, Kip Jones. 6'6" junior forward from Hollis Park, Illinois, number 31, Dave Stack. 6'7" junior forward from Toledo, Ohio, number 33, Todd Mitchell. Not suited, but 6'5" sophomore guard from Lyons, Indiana, number 34, Tony Patterson. 6'10" sophomore center from Chicago, Illinois, number 35, Melvin McCants. 6'9" junior guard from El Toro, California, number 43, Jeff Arnold. 6'8" freshman forward from Crown Point, Indiana, number 44, John Brugos. And 6'9" freshman center from Ada, Michigan, number 55, Steve Scheffler. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the Boilermakers of Purdue University, Gene Cady, and the other members of the Purdue coaching staff.
And both teams like to play 94 feet. They'll run with the ball. Both teams are patient on offense, as you see the matchups. They'll work their offense down inside, but they're not afraid to shoot the ball from the outside, as both teams shoot very, very well and play a lot of hard defense. So this one should be a lot of fun.
And we're delighted to have you along the Farm Bureau Insurance Basketball Network. Happy to be able to send this game to Raleigh, North Carolina on WRAL Channel 5, in addition to our regular stations in the state of Indiana. So number 35 there, Dave Paulson at 6'10", a senior out of Ashley, Pennsylvania, jumping against Todd Mitchell, the 6'7" junior out of Toledo, Ohio. Number 2, Purdue against number 4, North Carolina. The top matchup in college basketball. Bad toss, but it's controlled by Joe Wolf of North Carolina. And here's a pass off by Smith. Goes in low, turning around, pops in with the ball and fires it up. And it's good. And it is a 2-0 lead by North Carolina.
Immediately the Tar Heels go inside with that 6'9" to 6'5" matchup, and Popson goes over the top easily.
Everett Stevens works down. It goes to Mitchell. Cross court. Here's Everett Stevens hopping it up. This game is tied at 2. Each team has taken a shot, and it's fallen. Down quickly is Kenny Smith, averaging 16-2. Outside with the ball is Jeff Lebo with an 11-4 average. Wolf with the ball. Looks inside. Not much there. Comes back to Kenny Smith. Smith will take about an 18-footer. Pops it through. It's 4-2. North Carolina. 3 shots up, 3 made. We played only 50 seconds of the game. Everett Stevens working against Kenny Smith. Here's Purdue's Troy Lewis with a 16-5 average. Mitchell leads the team in scoring. He has it at 17-7. Lee, the only member of the starting 5 under double figures. Here is Mitchell losing the ball. First turnover. And North Carolina comes up. Smith with the ball. He pops it up there. And it's good. Smith's second basket. That's the first time this year that Purdue has trailed by more than 2 points in a game.
Well, and you can see the quickness that North Carolina has. Dean Smith says that Purdue may be quicker, but Kenny Smith immediately down the court, although he picks up a foul there with body contact.
That's Dean Smith. 1-2 in the NCAA, lost to Louisville. We have a minute and a half gone by. The ball is thrown away again for the second time here by the Boilermakers, and Carolina gets it, and Dave Popson brings it up. Kenny Smith into the forecourt. Stevens is on him. Bounces it low. Purdue is going to make the steal as Troy Lewis comes up with the ball. First turnover for North Carolina. Here is the ball rejected by a great leaping play there by North Carolina. That was J.R. Reed up there. And here's a drive and a foul going to be called on Todd Mitchell. His first. Tough break for block of the year. He leads the team in block shots this year. Williams with the ball, handling it for the first time just off the bench. Lebo guarded there by Lewis. Comes out to Williams. Mitchell is on him and sticking with him. Kenny Smith comes outside. Smith bounces it low. Here is the shot by Wolf. No. Ball tipped up and in. And the tip in is by Joe Wolf. His first basket. It's 8-2. 6 unanswered points by North Carolina.
Saw the power on the backboard by North Carolina there. They threw the ball up on a jump hook shot by Wolf, and then all of them went after the ball. They were way above Purdue.
Purdue has taken 2 shots, I believe. Here is Mitchell from 16. Fires. No. Rebounded by Wolf. Or Popson gets it. He brings it down. Here's Lebo firing. No. Rebounded Mitchell, and Purdue's McCants handles the ball, and here into the forecourt goes Everett Stevens. Bounce pass inside, knocked away. 3 turnovers for Purdue. Smith on the drive. Smith lays it up. Smith hits it. Smith has 6 up to 10 points, and Purdue wants a timeout with 16:59 to play in the first half. You're watching Purdue basketball on the Farm Bureau Insurance Basketball Network. Purdue trails North Carolina 10-2.
They're just not able to get into their offensive floor at all, and you give that credit to North Carolina for their scrambling defense that's just all over Purdue.
16:59 to play, first half. Here come the Boilermakers, but able to take only 3 shots and make 1. That was when the game was tied at 2-2. Lee goes to Everett Stevens. Here is Troy Lewis firing off the mark. Mitchell goes up. We got a foul going to be called on Melvin McCants. McCants with his first foul.
Offensively, they are rattled. The shots are coming way too quick. They're not getting into the flow of the game at all, and North Carolina just cool and calm, doing the kind of things they've always been doing.
Reed comes out to Wolf. Now we got a foul away from the ball, and it'll be called, I believe, on Hunter, who checked in during the timeout. This is Curtis Hunter, 6'5" senior out of Durham, North Carolina. That's the first. That's also a turnover, an offensive foul. That's 2 on North Carolina.
Gene Cady would like his squad to get a bucket here. Down 10-2, and it's been a while since they scored on that first shot by Everett Stevens.
Yeah, I think it came in the first 50 seconds. Here's Lee with it. Comes outside to Mitchell. Cross court to Lewis. Lewis makes a drive. Short jump. That's good. There's also a foul. Lewis charging. Does the basket count? Let's see if it does.
Troy made a nice move on the baseline. He got J.R. Reed just a little out of position, but Jeff Lebo is right there to pick up the positioning foul against Lewis. The basket does count, but you can see it's not going to be easy to go inside against the Tar Heels.
So it is 10-4 now. The Boilermakers went nearly 3 minutes before. Here is Everett Stevens trying to make a steal, and does. That's the 3rd turnover. Here is Troy Lewis down, and his 2nd straight basket.
Key play there by Everett Stevens. That has to make him feel better, as Kenny Smith has had the best of this thus far in the ballgame.
Oh, here's a Reed shot. Is missed, and Melvin McCants comes off the board. And the Boilermakers come down quickly. Mitchell fires, and it stays in there. Mitchell hits the basket. And the Boilermakers are back in at 10-8, having scored 6 unanswered points. Here's a foul down in the... No, a walking violation. And we're going to have 2 substitutions now for North Carolina. Number 35, Dave Popson, is back in. And number 33, Ranzino Smith, 6-foot junior, back in, or in for the first time. His average is 12-3. We have 15:41 to play in the first half.
So I said earlier in the telecast, Joe, it's going to be a spurty ball game. North Carolina came out red hot. Then Purdue, on the strength of an Everett Stevens steal, got back in it.
Oh, an alley-oop, and it goes to Stevens and his 2nd basket, and the Boilermakers have scored 8 unanswered points. Each team now has had runs of 8. Here is Smith giving that ball off to Popson. Back outside to Wolf. Smith on the drive. Takes a short jumper. It's good. He has 8 points. His average is 16-2. Now it's 12-10 in favor of North Carolina.
You may not see a better guard all year long than Smith. He has really done a job on the court playing defense, and he had a great move over there just to lose Everett Stevens for that little baseline jumper.
Just under 15 minutes to play in the first half. It's Carolina by 2. Roy Lewis fires off the mark. Rebounded by Dave Popson, averaging 6.8 rebounds a game. Smith with the ball, stopped by Stevens. 33, Ranzino Smith comes outside. Here is Wolf, beats it low. J.R. Reed back out to Smith. Smith almost walked with the ball. Here's Lee making the steal. Lee going for the tying basket, puts it up and in. Lee has his first basket, and the game is tied at 12. Reed with the ball. Gets into the lane. Lays it up. Oh, a nice little roll up there. Reed's first basket. And the Carolinians lead 14-12. 14 minutes, 5 seconds to play. We're in the first half. Opening night of the Dallas Morning News Basketball Classic at Reunion Arena. Here's Lee. Feeded inside from Lewis to McCants. Blocked. And it was blocked there by Dave Popson. He has 11 blocks now. 2 blocks now for Carolina in the game. 24 is Joe Wolf. Short jumper, good. Wolf's second basket. And Carolina has a 4-point lead, 16-12.
Just that quickly, Carolina can come back on you and get their offense rolling. It's a great block by Popson. I think McCants has not played against this caliber of player yet this year, and certainly he found out about having to do a little bit more with that jump shot.
Stevens against Smith. Here's Troy Lewis down the lane, bounced it off his knee, but there's a foul. And the foul is going to be marked against Carolina. Number 33, we believe, gets charged with the foul. That'll be his first. We have a couple of substitutions for Purdue. Number 30, Kip Jones is in. And number 43, Jeff Arnold is in. Curtis Hunter comes in for Carolina. Curtis Hunter, 43. 42, Williams comes in. Here is pass cross court to Lewis. He fires. It's good. Lewis has a half a dozen. That's good for 3, they say. Or he has 7, and it's now 16-15. On the other end, the follow-through is good by Dave Popson. His second basket. Don't lean down and look away. You'll miss something.
Well, we talked about having to block North Carolina off the backboard all over the court, and that's what they're not doing at the moment.
We have a foul on the other end. And the foul is going to be marked against number 42. It'll be Scott Williams. His first. That's 4 against Carolina, 3 against Purdue. 1 3-point effort tonight by Troy Lewis. He has 7. Troy's had a couple of games in which he has had not very good starts. Toledo was 1 and Detroit was the other, although he wound up with 19 in the Detroit game.
His shots thus far here this evening have not been as fluid as they were early in the season, as he was just a little shaky getting started. This last shot was very good that he took. J.R. Reed is back in for North Carolina, as is Todd Mitchell for Purdue. So both teams using their bench early.
18-15 is the score. Carolina leads. Carolina 4th in the country. Purdue ranked number 2. The ball comes in to Kip Jones, handling the ball for the first time. He's double teamed, and it's taken away from him.
North Carolina will double team you anytime you have players cross near the ball, and Purdue will have to keep from doing that.
Here's Scott Williams, the jumper. No. 3 Purdue's are after the rebound, and Arnold comes up with it. Jeff Arnold, 6'9" junior out of California. Troy Lewis from 3. He didn't get it. And it is rebounded by Purdue's Kip Jones. He puts it up. No. Foul is going to be called. And I think it's a charge on Kip Jones. His first. That's 4 on the team. Each team has been whistled for 4.
Here you'll see Kip going inside. Good position by J.R. Reed, the freshman. Just took the blow.
Lee, Arnold, and Lewis in there for Purdue. On the dribble is Jeff Lebo. He hasn't scored. 4 other Carolina players have. The ball is tipped. It'll be out of bounds by Purdue, as that's the 6th turnover for North Carolina.
Saw a shot there of Todd Mitchell. He is really having a battle inside with Popson, and he had it earlier with Joe Wolf when they were going at it down low.
Elvin McCants, the only starter for Purdue, who has not scored. This is Arnold with the ball. Comes out to Stevens. Stevens gives it to Lee. Lee makes the drive, stops, lays it off, and throws it away. Lee, I think, maybe should have gone ahead with the basket.
Certainly the shots are coming a little earlier than what Purdue would like for them to, and not within the rhythm of the offense.
Here's a pass inside. A great block by Everett Stevens, but he got him with his body. That'll be his first. That's 5 fouls on Purdue. And North Carolina will be going to the free throw line.
North Carolina works a good back door here, as it's Rosino Smith going down low. Stevens is there with a great block with the hands, but made body contact, so Smith will have 2 at the line.
He's 12 out of 16, 75% at the free throw line this year. His average for the game scoring is 12.3. That's the first free throw of the night, and it is no good. Smith misses on both. The ball is tipped by Arnold into the hands of Lee, and a reach-in foul is going to be called on Rosino Smith. I think he was a little frustrated that he missed both free throws, and trying to get that one, reached in and committed the foul.
One thing that North Carolina doesn't do, Joe, that's miss free throws. And there you see their board powers are able to knock the ball away again from Jeff Arnold, but Smith commits the foul and Purdue gets it back.
So Purdue with the ball and down by 3 in this game. Everett Stevens coming down, guarded by Renzino Smith. Kenny Smith is now on the bench. Here's Lee firing, and let's see if the basket. Oh, no basket. A foul by Arnold away from the ball nullifies that try by Doug Lee.
Oh, that's a severe error there for Purdue, because they lose 2 points on the goal there by Lee, and they could lose 2 more here on the end, so it could be a 4-point play, and Jeff Arnold will take a seat as Mel McCants comes back in for Purdue.
That unofficially is 6 turnovers now for Purdue. We have 6 for North Carolina. The Tar Heels 8-1 this year. The only loss to UCLA. Purdue is 7-0. Here is the ball almost taken away, but Lebo gets it back. Now it is stolen by Everett Stevens. 3-on-3. Stevens lays it off to Troy Lewis. Fires. It's good. Lewis has 9, and he is the leading scorer in the game. And it is a 1-point game. Carolina with a basketball in the lead. Lebo sends it inside. They go in the back door. The ball is knocked away, but a foul is called on Doug Lee. His first.
Carolina.
So at the line, Joe Wolf. Fires it up and in. His 5th point of the night. First of 3 now for North Carolina. Wolf gets them both. And it is a 3-point game, 20-17 in favor of North Carolina. Troy Lewis comes down. Gives it to Everett Stevens. Hand-to-man for Carolina. Troy Lewis wanted to shoot 3. Mitchell with the ball. Guarded there by Wolf. Fires. Good. Mitchell's second basket of the night. It's a 1-point game. Carolina in the lead.
Nice move by Mitchell. Felt that contact and then got an easy little jumper.
On the other end, the shot is missed by Kenny Smith. And the foul is going to be called on Carolina. It'll be on number 24.
Stuffs that they get off the rebound, but that time it didn't work for them.
Purdue has never led in the game. Tied at 2, tied at 12. A basket this time could give Purdue its first lead. Here is Mitchell from about 17. It won't fall. Melvin McCants battles and gets the rebound. Good hustle by Melvin. He got up on J.R. Reed that time, the freshman. Here's Melvin McCants, outstanding freshman in the Big Ten last year. Here is Everett Stevens. Gives it now to Mitchell. Goes inside to McCants. McCants puts it up and goaltending. McCants gets his first basket. That's got to be a confidence builder, and the Boilermakers lead for the first time. It's 21-20.
It's been a long way back for Purdue. Here's that shot a moment ago. The ball more than halfway to the goal as Popson hits it off the backboard, and the Boilermakers take the lead by 1. And here comes North Carolina.
We are midway through the first half. Exactly 10 minutes to play in the first stanza. Lebo with the ball.
Purdue using their matchup zone defense.
Here is Wolf, knocked away by Stevens, and now stolen back by Smith, but it goes out of bounds, and so it'll be out of bounds to Purdue. The Boilermakers lead 21-20. It's turned into what we expected on paper. There's the head man of the Carolina Tar Heels, Dean Smith. 587 wins, 172 losses.
Of guards play here in Everett, Stevens, and Smith.
Here is Lee firing. It's good. Lee's basket. It's his second basket of the night, and the Boilermakers lead by 3, 23-20. Kenny Smith with 4 baskets leads the Tar Heels in scoring in this game, and on the season average at 16-2. He has 8 points here tonight. Reed with the ball. He makes a move on McCants. He throws it up there. Good. Man, what a touch. J.R. Reed's second basket.
Had a very difficult shot to defense because he puts it up high over the head with just one hand, and he's got long arms. He gets that ball way away from the defense.
Purdue leads by 1. Everett Stevens works inside, and Lebo reaches in and commits the foul. His first. Each team has been whistled for 7 fouls in the first 11 minutes of the game.
Here comes the double team as the Boilermakers try to split.
Leader for Purdue at 47. He also has 7 blocks, which is best on the team.
Gene Cady pacing the sidelines there as his team is at the free throw line, and Purdue does not get there very much, and that's been a concern, the fact that maybe they're not getting the ball down inside very well. Tony Jones comes into the lineup, the freshman, and he is replacing Troy Lewis, who is going out.
Lewis goes out with 9 points, including a three-pointer. He is leading Purdue in scoring tonight, second on the season. Everett Stevens fires. He can't get it. Carolina Tar Heels bring it up. Kenny Smith is on the dribble. The senior out of Queens, New York. Lays it off to Wolf. Back outside to Reed. Reed makes a move. Double teamed. Knocked away by McCants. It'll be out of bounds to North Carolina.
Reed again made a good move going to the backboard. There you see Dean Smith's going to make a change, and I'll bet you it's Reed that's coming out.
Reed has 2 baskets. It's Carolina's basketball. Jeff Lebo to throw it in. Got to get it in quickly. Almost too much time. Wolf gives it off, and here is a drive, and the foul is going to be called on Purdue. The basket is made by Lebo, I believe. Stevens is guilty of his second foul.
Here comes the play again. A good baseline move by Lebo. Let's see if Stevens gets in position. Oh, he moved after Lebo left the floor. Good call by the official as Stevens was creeping, and that's 2 fouls on him, and that's a problem.
And that gives Carolina the lead now, 24-23, and Lebo will go to the free throw line. He is 14 out of 19, 74% on the year. Fires it up there. He could make it a 2-point lead, and he does. Carolina's 3 out of 5. 25-23 now. Carolina back with a 2-point lead. Carolina's been up by as many as 8. Purdue has had a lead of 3 when it was 23-20. Mitchell to lead. Carolina stays in the man-to-man. Tony Jones handling the ball. Freshman out of Fort Wayne. Here's Lee in from the backside. Bounces it off to McCants, and the ball is loose, and Carolina steals it. 7 turnovers.
Very difficult pass to complete there as he tried to bounce one low.
Lee sneaks in and knocks it away, but it'll be out of bounds to Carolina. Another substitution for North Carolina. It'll be Ranzino Smith back in, and going out is Jeff Lebo. Lebo leads with 3 points, and encouraged by Dean Smith. Ball underneath the Carolina basket. Comes outside to Scott Williams. Mitchell is on him. Kenny Smith guarded by Stevens. Here's Wolf. Got McCants off the floor. Here's a rebound by Tony Jones, and a foul is going to be called on Ranzino Smith. Carolina leads 25-23. Tony Jones. Let's get it to fall. It's rebounded by Scott Williams. Yes, more than 5 rebounds a game. Outside, Williams with the ball. And, oh, that is 3 on Everett Stevens. And Coach Katie will have to.
That is going to be a very, very critical thing as we go down through the ball game. There you see Tim Fisher coming in to replace Tony Jones. Fisher will run the point. But he is going to be sorely mismatched against Smith from the Tar Heels because Smith will have much more quickness.
6'10" Scott Williams at the free throw line. 14 out of 21 on the year. Makes his first try at the line tonight. 4 out of 6 for the Tar Heels. And the lead now is 3 for North Carolina. This one bounces off, and Mitchell gets the rebound. 7:54 to play in the half. Roy Lewis with the ball. Comes out to Mitchell. Well, that Carolina defense is sticky. Lee with a short jumper. Won't go. Rebounded by Kenny Smith. Almost a walking call. Battle underneath. Put up and in by Popson. His 3rd basket. And Carolina now has ripped off 8 unanswered points. Second time they've had runs of 8.
Wanamaker standing around defensively, and their offense is not working too well either.
And we're going to have a timeout now with 7:23 to play in the first half of this battle in the Dallas Morning News Classic. You are watching Purdue basketball on the Farm Bureau Insurance Basketball Network. North Carolina 28, Purdue 1.
Angeles Lakers.
So it's Purdue's basketball. Purdue is down 28-23. Purdue led 23-20 after being down 10-2. Mitchell had a little trouble with the ball. Lewis lays it across and throws, saved by Lee on a great move. Fisher with the ball. Fisher to Lewis. Lewis is guarded there by number 33, Ranzino Smith. Here's a turnover. Turnovers, and Kenny Smith comes down, and man, does he play basketball. He has 10 points. And it is now 30-23. That's a run of 10 for North Carolina.
Kenny Smith is the difference in the ball game. His defense and offensive production off of that defense is really giving Purdue problems.
Mitchell gives it to Lewis. Short jumper. Lewis can't get in the ball. McCants tips. No. Rebounded by Scott Williams. Kenny Smith brings it down the other way. Double team. Stops. Gives it back outside. Knocked away by McCants. 9 turnovers for North Carolina. 6.5 minutes to play in the half. North Carolina leads by 7. It's 30-23. Lewis feeds it inside to McCants. He's fouled from behind, and Scott Williams is guilty of his second foul. That's 9 on the.
Lebo and Ranzino Smith are in the backcourt now for the Tar Heels.
Elvin McCants at the line for the first time tonight. He's 19 out of 27 of the year for 70%. Purdue's 0 for 2 at the free throw line. McCants gets his 3rd point of the night. That cuts it 24-30 and stops a 10-point run by Carolina. Melvin McCants averaging 14.4 a game. Didn't get this one to fall, and it's rebounded by J.R. Reed, the freshman out of Virginia Beach for North Carolina. Ranzino Smith to Kenny Smith. Ranzino gives it out to Lebo. Fisher is on him. Smith fires. Couldn't get it to fall. The ball tipped up. McCants is fouled by J.R. Reed. That'll be his.
Says the first foul, and that's where Reed stands at the moment, as both of these teams are picking up fouls. Boilermakers now in that 1-1, and McCants will have a chance to cut a couple of points off the lead with the free throws. And Purdue has not done well from the line. I think they're what, 2 out of 5 or 1 out of 4 at this point. Curtis, and, they need to hit those.
Curtis Hunter, 43, back into the lineup for Carolina. Melvin McCants at the line gets his 4th point of the night. Boilermakers are 2 of 5, cutting the lead 30-25. McCants, 6'10" sophomore, pulls down nearly 7 rebounds a game, leading the team in rebounding. Didn't get this one to fall, and J.R. Reed gets the rebound. Long pass down to Curtis Hunter. Double team, throws it cross court to Ranzino Smith. Purdue in the matchup. Ranzino Smith looks down to the corner, nothing there. Comes out to Lebo. Fisher is on him. J.R. Reed way out to Ranzino Smith. Hits it inside, and there's a foul going to be called on a push-off underneath. And it'll be on Doug Lee. That'll be his 2nd and 10 on the team.
North Carolina did an excellent job of flexing the zone, and they finally saw the inside play for J.R. Reed, who's a great leaper down low, and there all of a sudden is the foul again committed by Lee as Jeff Arnold comes back into the lineup to give Purdue some bulk under the backboard.
And going to the free throw line is J.R. Reed. He's 27 out of 45 this year, 60%. He's up there for the first time tonight. The freshman, 6'9", averages 9.9 a game. He has 12 blocks, including 1 here tonight. He misses this one, and Carolina's 4 of 8. Purdue is 2 of 6. Neither team burning up the nets at the free throw line. Troy Lewis with the ball. Gives out to Mitchell. Now to Lee from 3-point range. It goes in and comes out, and Mitchell goes for it, and it is deflected out of bounds. It'll be out of bounds to North Carolina. The crowd reacts to that one, but from our vantage point, looked like he touched the ball last. It made a good hustle to retrieve the ball, but couldn't get it.
I don't think they're really complaining as much about the ball going out of bounds. That was obvious, but Popson was all over his back, and they thought maybe there should have been a foul call.
5-point spread with North Carolina the basketball in the lead. Lebo goes over to Ranzino Smith. Lewis is on him. Lebo picked up by Fisher. Ranzino Smith hits it back to Lebo. 3-point, no. Retrieved over there by Joe Wolf. Now Ranzino sets it up again. Lays it off to Lebo. Tricky pass saved there by Wolf. Here's Lebo laying it inside and got a little too fancy, but it is chased down by Wolf. Now Ranzino Smith lays it off. We got a foul away from the ball. No basket. And Jeff Arnold, I guess, is guilty of the foul. Or is it Fisher? It'll be on Fisher, his first.
Purdue had lots of opportunities there. The steal Ranzino Smith, and that's bad news for Purdue.
Ranzino is 0 for 1, makes his first point of the night. Carolina's 5 of 9, and the lead now is 31-25. Ranzino Smith, a junior, makes them both. And Kenny Smith comes in, and Ranzino Smith goes out. Kenny comes in with 5 field goals and 10 points. Coach Katie got very close to getting a technical a while ago because as the official walked over to call the foul, he was staring at him with his hand up for the foul indication. Lee on the dribble, working against Curtis Hunter. 7-point lead for Carolina. Mitchell, turnaround jump shot, won't fall. Carolina rebounds, Wolf with it. And Kenny Smith on the dribble. Lays it off to Lebo. Back door, 3 for the easy basket is Curtis Hunter, his first. And it is now a 9-point lead, 34-25.
The baseline has been open an awful lot for North Carolina. They've been able to sneak in behind the zone and do a good job. And that time they found Hunter down low, wide open.
Carolina's outscored Purdue 14-2. We have a hold called on, a walking violation called on Purdue, and that's 9 turnovers for the Boilermakers. We have a timeout. First, 3:55 to play, first half. You're watching Purdue basketball on the Farm Bureau Insurance Basketball Network. North Carolina leads Purdue 34-25.
Yeah.
So it's North Carolina's basketball. Kenny Smith lays it off in the corner there to Hunter. Hunter needs help. Back to Kenny Smith. He'll try from 3-point range. It's no good. Lee rebounds. Here's a pass inside. Melvin McCants puts it up too high off the board. Troy Lewis got it. Lays it off to Lee. Lee goes up and puts it up and in. Lee has 6 tonight, and it is now 34-27. Carolina down quickly. Lebo on the left side. Here is Mitchell reaching in, committing his second foul of the night. Oh, we'll go to the free throw. Shooting 86%. He's the best, the second best free throw shooter. Popson is 18 out of 19 for Carolina. That's 7 points now for Joe Wolf. Wolf out of Wisconsin makes his 8th point of the night. (36-27), a little more than 3 minutes to play. Carolina leads. Fisher throws it away. Double team. J.R. Reed throws it to Kenny Smith. He almost threw it away. Comes back to Lebo. Fires. No. Battle for the rebound. Who's going to get it? J.R. Reed. Boy, that was power underneath. His 6th point of the night. Carolina leads 38-27.
Well, the difference in the ball game, Joe, is Purdue is picking up the dribble out front, allowing the double team by North Carolina, and then they're letting Kenny Smith penetrate offensively.
Lewis can't get it. Lee got the basket. It won't count, though, as he was fouled by Curtis Hunter, his second foul. Biggest lead for Carolina, 38-11, 11-point spread. Purdue is led by 3 when it was 23-20. Lee gets his 7th point of the night and first free throw. It is now 38-28. Purdue is 3 of 7 from the stripe. Lee, a co-captain for the Boilermakers, makes them both. 38-29. Here comes Wolf down. He comes down quickly, takes the jumper. No. Goes for the rebound. Gets his second effort. Fires it up. No. Battle for the rebound. It is out of bounds off the fingertips of Popson.
Well, we talked about Doug Lee early in the contest, that he might be a key player, and here in the last couple of minutes, he has really come on to lead Purdue when they needed somebody to get the job done for them.
2:20 to play in the first half. Carolina 38, Purdue 29. Here is Mitchell, power up, no, foul going to be called on 35, Dave Popson, his first, and we have 12 fouls on each team here tonight.
Very physical inside. There you see the foul on Popson, and when this ball game's over.
Well, Todd Mitchell with 4 points at the line, 24 out of 37 of the year. Makes his 5th point of the night, and the Boilermakers are 5 of 9 from the stripe, cutting the lead to 8, 38-30. Mitchell, averaging 17.7 a game, leading Purdue in scoring this year, was able to make both free throws. 38-31. Purdue scored the last 4 points. Wolf with the ball. Mitchell is on him. J.R. Reed makes a fancy move, gives it to Kenny Smith. Back out to Lebo. Tony Jones is on him, the freshman.
Purdue still using the matchup.
Here is Lebo firing, three-pointer. Lebo's 6th point of the night. Each team now has hit 1 three-pointer. It's a 10-point lead for Carolina, 41-31, minute 44 to play. We have a foul on Melvin McCants. Away from the ball, his first, 13 on the team. So we'll go to the other end, and a 1 bonus coming for North Carolina. Carolina is 8 of 11 unofficially at the line.
The rest of the Tar Heels only have 1 except for Scott Williams, who has 2.
J.R. Reed, who missed his first free throw of the night, shooting 60%, gets his 7th point of the night. And Carolina leads by 11, 42-31. Reed misses this one. Lewis gets the rebound. Tony Jones down. Beats it inside. There is Mitchell, and he doesn't get the basket, and he's fouled by Popson, his 2nd.
Well, it's a real power move. Good pass inside as Wolf tries to make the steal. There's Mitchell going high, and Popson and J.R. Reed both there, and I think Reed picked up the foul, Joe. I think they're going to give it to him, and I tell you what, they both could have picked up one, and they would have been right.
The 2nd one on Reed, and only 1 then on Popson, and Mitchell goes to the free throw line. He's 2 of 2 there tonight, with only 2 baskets, however. Substitution, 42. Scott Williams is going to come into the lineup for North Carolina. North Carolina's 8-1 this year, ranked number 4 in both the AP and the UPI. Purdue is number 2 in both those polls at 7-0. Mitchell at the line with 2. Best game this year has been 22. Mitchell gets his 7th point of the night. 10-point lead for Carolina. The Tar Heels into the forecourt. Wolf is on the dribble. Hobson. Here's Kenny Smith. Joe Wolf feeds it out. They go underneath the Williams, and he stuffs it in. Scott Williams, first basket, his 3rd point.
Carolina does an excellent job of moving that ball so quickly that the defense can't react to the passes that they're making, and that's how they created that opening on the back door that time for Williams.
12-point lead now, 44-32, and that's the biggest of the evening. And a 5-second call on Purdue, and that's 11 turnovers, and we're going to have a substitution. Number 30, Kip Jones, 6'8" sophomore out of Decatur, near Fort Wayne, is into the lineup for the Boilermakers.
Purdue must be careful here, down by 12. You certainly wouldn't want that to get up to 16, and with 58 seconds left, depending on how quickly Carolina shoots, they could get the ball back again.
40 seconds in the shot clock. That hasn't been in the play here tonight. Williams with the ball. Back to Kenny Smith. Manzino Smith out to Wolf. Arnold is on him. Williams. Kip Jones is on him. And a man for Purdue. Here's Kenny Smith, goes by Jones, sends it outside to Hobson. He fires it up, and it bounces in. Let's see if it counts. It does. Hobson gets the basket. He's got 8, and there's also a foul on the play. Foul is on Williams.
Great pass by Smith back out to Popson, who rolls it around. There you see the battle between Kip Jones and Williams underneath the basket. Williams picked up the
stripe this year. Only 30%. He's going to get to try that one again because there was a lane violation on Carolina.
Kenny Smith was in just a tick too quick as they try to gauge the time that ball leaves the hand. Smith was across the line before it happened.
Here's Kip Jones trying it again and is able to make it. 46-33. Substitution now, number 20. Steve Bucknall is into the lineup for Carolina, and going out is Scott Williams. Scott has 3 fouls on him. Here's a substitution for Purdue. Tim Fisher is into the lineup. And Doug Lee will take a rest. Lee does 2 fouls. Everett Stevens has been on the bench a long time with 3.
Boilermakers have 3 guards in the lineup right now.
Jones is able to make them both. 46-34. Carolina, 27 seconds left. Eddie Jones lays it off. Carolina will work for the final shot of the half, or the very best shot possible.
They're in their 4 corner at this point.
Here's Joe Wolf back outside to Ranzino Smith. Makes a move on Fisher, throws it inside, knocked away, but going after it is Bucknall. Lays it off. Here's Ranzino Smith firing, and Carolina could not get it to fall. So we've played the first half of this basketball game in the Dallas Morning News Classic here in Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas. The winner of this one goes on to play SMU for the title tomorrow night. The loser and in trouble with the Boilermakers. It'll be Purdue's basketball as the second half begins here. Purdue 12 of 26 for 46. That's way below their shooting average. 18 of 34. That's right on the mark for Carolina this year. Each team's been to the line 14 times. Each has made 9. Turnovers, Purdue has 14. That's the game average.
It'll be interesting to see what changes that Gene Cady has made as you see Carolina came out immediately in his own.
Here is a battle for it on the rebound, pulled on by Joe Wolf, and here comes Carolina, leading by 12. Kenny Smith with the ball. Stevens is on him to get a 5-second call almost. Out to J.R. Reed. We have the original starters in there for both teams. Reed almost has the 5-second call. Here's Kenny Smith, and Stevens has 4. 4 fouls on Everett Stevens.
You could almost see that one coming. Stevens was overplaying Smith, and he's just too quick to do that. Smith takes the little jump shot. Will go to the line for 2. Everett Stevens with 4. Gene Cady's going to have to make a change. It'll be Tim Fisher, the senior out of Delphi, coming in to replace.
At the line this year has not attempted a free throw this evening. He has 11 points. Carolina is 10 of 15.
Gene Cady very concerned on the sideline about what he's going to do defensively now against Kenny Smith, who's really been a thorn in his side, and he's taken his quickest player and put him on the bench because of fouls.
And it is 48-34. Carolina scores first in the second half, as did the Tar Heels in the first half. Lewis into McCants in the back door, and that's 6 points for Melvin McCants. Carolina down quickly. The Tar Heels with J.R. Reed sends it inside, almost losing as Hobson gets it back out to Lebo. Lebo into the paint, gives it outside. Wolf goes into the corner to Kenny Smith underneath the J.R. Reed, throws it away.
Now that's a freshman mistake, I suppose. He's just not used to playing with Kenny Smith enough yet. Smith is always moving, and it's very difficult to throw the ball back to him because he's generally not there.
12-point deficit for the Boilermakers as Tim Fisher brings it up on Kenny Smith. Lewis with the ball. Almost had it taken away. Knocked out of bounds by North Carolina. Lebo on a good hustle. Knocked it out right in front of the Purdue bench. Boilermakers basketball. Gene Cady's team is down 48-36. Fisher takes it from Reed. From Lee. Lee fires long range. 3-pointer for Lee. 11 points for him. It's 48-39.
That's what Lee does best. He's a standstill shooter. If the Boilermakers can get him those shots, he'll fill it up. Although he's not had a lot of success this year, it's because he's been shooting on the move.
4 out of 19 from 3-point range. J.R. Reed turns around. Boy, he has a great touch. It's 9 points for him. And it's a 50-39 lead. Carolina.
They expect big things out of J.R. Reed before he leaves North Carolina. And they're beginning to get them already here in his freshman season.
Lee double team, ball taken away, and they get the ball to North Carolina. Well, they're going to talk about that one, and I think they should. They do get the ball to Purdue. Yeah.
Well, that's a tough job by the down official who comes back and takes the call away, and that's probably the right thing to do. Dean Smith doesn't think so. He says, you gave it to us. You know, why do the guys in the black shirts have it?
Here is Lee. Can't get it. Mitchell can't get the rebound. It's pulled on by Joe Wolf. Kenny Smith down quickly. Bounces into J.R. Reed. And a foul on Fisher. His second. Coach Katie thought it should have been a travel. Oh, the ball will be out of bounds to North Carolina. Up in this game 50-39. Carolina has been averaging 98.4 points a game. Purdue has been averaging 87.9. 2 minutes and 4 seconds gone by in the second half. Dave Hobson with it. Lee is on him. Hobson gets in the lane, almost lost it. Gives it out to Kenny Smith. Feeds it inside. Here's a turnaround jump shot. Tonight's one by Wolf. He has 10. And North Carolina is up 52-39.
Yeah, the size is really giving Purdue problems.
Here's Mitchell putting it up. No, foul is going to be called on North Carolina. And the man on the floor is guilty of the foul.
J.R. Reed trying to get the position foul again on Mitchell, who goes inside. You saw Reed lean in, commit the undercut. Mitchell will go to the line for a chance to hit two.
Purdue's 9 of 14. Mitchell has 8 points. 52-40, North Carolina.
Purdue fans looking for some kind of key that the Boilermakers are beginning to click. And as I watch, I have not been able to see it yet. I don't see it in their faces, but they feel confident with what they're doing on the court.
Free throw is missed by Mitchell. Kenny Smith is down quickly for Carolina. J.R. Reed gets it over to Hunter. Hunter makes a move on Lee. Hunter uses up the dribble. Gets rid of it to Wolf. Comes out to Kenny Smith. Might have walked. Gives the ball to Reed. J.R. in the left hand that time. He does it all. He has 11. 54-40, matching the previous big lead by North Carolina of 14. 3 minutes gone by, second half. Fisher on the dribble. Cross court to Troy Lewis. Oh, he fired it underneath and threw it away. 15 turnovers. I think he thought McCants was going to break. Smith back down. No, McCants rebounds. Lee sends it up quickly to Fisher. Comes across here to Mitchell. Mitchell from 16. Didn't get it to fall, and over the backboard, out of bounds to North Carolina. North Carolina is getting ready to make another substitution as Coach Katie is encouraging his players. Number 42, Scott Williams, 6'10", freshman out of Hacienda Heights, comes back in, and J.R. Reed goes out, and Reed has had a good 3 minutes of the second half.
Has to be frustrating for a team to continue to look at new players come in, and each one is bigger than the one that just went out.
Smith down quickly. Wolf goes cross court, in underneath to Williams, and puts it up and in. Scott Williams has 5. And it's a 16-point lead now for Carolina, the biggest of the evening.
Well, one thing you can't teach, Joe, and that's size, and these guys have really got great size inside.
Goes inside to McCants. He puts it up. It won't fall, but there's a foul. And it'll be on Scott Williams. That'll be 4.
Tim Fisher will go out, and now it will be the freshman Tony Jones who runs the offense.
McCants at the line, 2 out of 4 tonight. He has a total of 6 points, including a basket in the second half. His players. 56-41 as McCants looks for his 8th point of the night. Doesn't get it. Rebound by Wolf. Kenny Smith brings it down quickly. Bounces it inside. Hobson has it stolen away. Here's Purdue. Tony Jones going for the basket, and he's fouled from behind by Lebo. His second.
Good defense inside. There you see the knockaway by Todd Mitchell. The long pass down court. Tony Jones trying to take it to the other side of the basket, and Lebo.
Line. Purdue is 11 of 18. Jones hasn't hit one until now. Yeah. 42 for Purdue, 56 for North Carolina. Carolina's been beaten only once by UCLA. We're going to have a timeout now with 15:57 to play in tonight's game. You're watching Purdue basketball on the Farm Bureau Insurance Basketball Network. North Carolina 56, Purdue 43.
about maybe as much of the problem as anything. This is the first time they've really seen this kind of competition, and to make that adjustment within 40 minutes is awfully difficult, as the score is showing right now. Purdue down by 13.
Carolina has the basketball. Comes inbounds to Curtis Hunter. The 35 is Popson. He sends it down quickly, and Ranzino Smith playing with 3 fouls. Here's the ball deflected away. He's going to finally get it. It'll be a foul on Jeff Arnold. It's his second. And that is 3 on Purdue in this half, 3 on Carolina in this half.
It looked for a moment that Purdue was going to steal the ball as Gene Cady eyes the situation. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Popson comes in and grabs the ball away, and as he went through, it was Arnold grabbing a hold of him.
Ranzino Smith lost to Kenny Smith. A home run. Kenny Smith has 15. And it is now 59-43. North Carolina. Doug Lee with the ball. Out to Arnold. J.R. Smith, J.R. Reed is on the end. The ball is knocked away by Kenny Smith. It'll be out of bounds, Purdue.
Excellent anticipation by Smith. He knew where the pass was going and was just a half a step from getting there to make the steal.
Lee to throw it in. Tony Jones feeds it to Lee on the baseline. Lee's up and in. Lee has 13. His best game this year has been 18. His career best 20. The score is 59-45 in favor of North Carolina's Tar Heels.
Purdue looking to get back in that single figure in terms of a lead or a deficit as far as they're concerned. Still having trouble containing that man, Kenny Smith.
Let him go.
Zeno Smith looks and drives and shoots, and it bounces off. The ball is pulled off by Arnold. Lewis brings it up. He has 9 points, all of those in the first half. We played a little more than 5 minutes of the second half. Here's Lewis firing. It's off the mark. Here's Arnold going up. Should have been a jump ball. Not so. Coming off is Kenny Smith on the drive. Stops from 17. Pops it in there. 17 points for him. 61-45. North Carolina's biggest lead.
When Smith has the ball, you just can't drop off of him. You have to go on out and play the defense against him, and if he beats you, that's just the way it is.
Here is Tony Jones going through and throws the ball away. Ranzino Smith comes down. Here's Hunter giving it outside, and Ranzino Smith has his first basket and 4th point of the night, and Purdue wants a timeout as the game is getting away. 14-17 to play. You're watching Purdue basketball on the Farm Bureau Insurance Basketball Network. North Carolina 63.
As they're trying to desperately get back into this one. A lot of time left. 14-17 on the clock.
And Kenny has 17 instead of 15. Here is Everett Stevens and Lewis outside. Kip Jones looks for help. Troy Lewis fires from the corner. Couldn't get it. Kip Jones rebounds. Goes inside. Stolen away. Ranzino Smith gets it back from Kenny Smith and lays it up and in. He has a half a dozen. And it is now 65-45, a 20-point lead. Here is a foul underneath, and Jeff Arnold is guilty of his 3rd.
Everett Stevens going down low, makes a nice fake. Little arm contact there by Joe Wolf, no call. And then here comes the bump foul by Arnold.
4 fouls against Purdue in the second half. Lebo on the dribble. Jeff working against Everett Stevens. Everett knocks it away, but Lebo goes back to get it, bounces it off, and here's a nice shot by Ranzino Smith. He has 3 baskets here in the second half. And that's 8 unanswered points for North Carolina.
You just can't give them a crack. If they find a little bitty seam, they'll just all of a sudden eat you alive.
Here's Ranzino Smith going down to save it, bounces it back, and throws it away. Only the second turnover in the second half. He steals it back. Stolen back by Hunter, and he gives it to Lebo, and Lebo scores his 8th point of the night. Now it is 69-45, and a 10-point run for the second time in this game by North Carolina. 69-45 now. Everett Stevens uses up the dribble, throws it inside, throws it away. That's 19 turnovers for Purdue. Their average is 13-9. And Purdue wants a timeout with 12:40 to play in tonight's game. And you're watching Purdue basketball on the Farm Bureau Insurance Basketball Network. Purdue trails North Carolina 69.
Club, and they deserve their top 5 ranking. And the Boilermakers, on the other hand, might be proving to some people, and including themselves, that they have some work to do, and that they see what they have to do against taller, stronger competition. And certainly North Carolina has proven that here tonight on the backboard, as Joe Wolf and Dave Popson have done an excellent job inside, and Purdue has not been able to use their quickness against Kenny Smith, who's been able to get up and down the court and do just about anything he's wanted to do with the basketball.
North Carolina has outscored Purdue 23-11 in the second half. And North Carolina has the basketball. Hunter double team, but gets it away. Wolf throws it down. Rancino Smith back to Lebo. Lebo lays it off, and driving and missing the shot is Popson, but a foul is going to be called on Melvin McCants, and that'll be his second. 18 out of 19 on the year for 95%. He'll have 2 tries here. Nine points, first point for him in the second half. And it is now 70-45. It was 69-45, and now it is 59-45. Now it is 70-45. Lee fires and scores. 15 for him. And breaks a run of 11 by North Carolina. Shot is missed underneath by Wolf. Cleared by Arnold. Nice play to save it out to Lewis and out to Everett Stevens. From 3-point range, Everett pops it in. 7 for him. 70-49. North Carolina, 11:47 to play. Kenny Smith is getting ready to check back in for North Carolina, as Rancino Smith uses up the dribble, comes outside here to Popson. Hunter throws it outside. Here is a foul on Jeff Arnold. 4 on him. 6 on the team in this half.
They are just so devastating when he is in the lineup doing his thing on offense and defense, that it causes so many troubles for the opposing club that you just cannot concentrate on enough people.
Dave Popson with 10 points. 2 out of 3 at the line. And the lead is 72-49. North Carolina. Everett Stevens lays it off to Troy Lewis. Troy hasn't scored in the second half. Melvin McCants walked with the ball. Tried to make a move on J.R. Reed, and Reed wouldn't have anything to do with it. That's 20 turnovers unofficially for Purdue. They average only 13-9.
Reed did an excellent job defensively. Did not take the fake at all and was standing right there when McCants turned around.
Outside is Popson. Lee tries to make the steal. Here's Hunter. No. Lewis rebounds. Lewis comes down off to Stevens from 3-point range. Off the mark. Pulled on by J.R. Reed. Tries to get out of there. Regroups. 3 men are on him. Gives it to Popson. Down to Kenny Smith. From 3. Kenny Smith's second 3-pointer tonight. That gives him 20, above his average of 16-2. It's 75-50 in favor of North Carolina. Troy Lewis to Lee. Basket will count or not. See, no sign yet. It counts. Lee gets a 3-pointer, I believe. So it's 75-53. And Reed commits his 4th foul. And the ball will be out of bounds to Purdue.
You know, you think the game's over, but they're 22 points down, no question. They're way back in the game right now, but there's still almost 11 minutes left.
Here is Lewis going inside, and Lewis finally gets it back after he couldn't get it inside. Doug Lee from 3. It's off the mark. Battle for it underneath. Kenny Smith gets it.
I think Doug was confused. He was out behind the green line instead of the dotted line, which is the pro line here in Dallas.
Here is Lebo. No. Battle for the rebound. Chased down over there by Hunter on the floor. Who's going to finally pick it up? It is Hunter. Comes out to Kenny Smith. Lays it underneath. Knocked away by Melvin McCants. And it's a goaltend. And Williams gets his 7th point of the night.
Again, Kenny Smith doing an excellent job of penetrating the defense. Gets it down low to Lebo, who gets the basket, number 14, not Williams, 42. So the Boilermakers, again, not able to contain Kenny Smith.
And so here is Todd Mitchell. Throws it inside to McCants, keeps it alive. It's deflected out of bounds. 21 turnovers for the Purdue Boilermakers. Unofficially. 9:40 to play in this one. Carolina 77, Purdue 53. Purdue undefeated coming into this one. Here's Bucknall with the ball. J.R. Reed back to Kenny Smith. Through the hands of Bucknall. Only the 3rd turnover for North Carolina in the 2nd half, though. Purdue had 14 in the first half. Carolina had 8. Now it is 21-12. 9:20 left to play in this one. Here is Troy Lewis. Missing. And a foul on Melvin McCants. 3 on him. Or is it 4?
Foul has been charged to Melvin McCants, number 35, his 4th
foul.
Team foul number 7 against Purdue.
So we'll go to the ball game. Now you saw 3 white shirts well above the 3 black shirts down low, and North Carolina's just done a fine job on the backboard.
Ball will be out of bounds to North Carolina as Melvin McCants could not hold on to it. Substitution. Joe Wolf comes back in, and Dave Popson, number 35, come back in. 9:08 left to play in this one, and Carolina is ahead 77-53. North Carolina coming into the game had faced 2 big top 20 teams, UCLA and Illinois, losing to UCLA and beating Illinois. The 2nd Big Ten team that Carolina will have faced. Hobson missed it, and a foul on the rebound, and Steve Bucknall, number 20, is guilty. 2 field goals, 3 out of 6 at the free throw line. Everett Stevens, who's been plagued with 3 fouls and now 4. 3 in the first half. 3-point range from Lee. Didn't get the drill, but there is Mitchell missing it, but he was fouled on the play. It's a couple of 3 times.
He hasn't been able to really get untracked offensively. 4 of his 8 points have come from the free throw line, as he is 4 out of 6.
9 points on the evening, and Purdue is 14 out of 21, but down 77-54. Todd Mitchell, 6'7", junior out of Toledo, Ohio. In a tough first half and second half for Purdue. 10 points for Todd. Kenny Smith all the way down. Todd Mitchell put his hand on him. 3rd foul on Todd.
Just not much you can do when he comes down there. He's so very quick. Just runs right by Todd, who had pretty good defensive position in the middle of the court. 20 points in the ball game, including 2 3-pointers. And most likely he will nail these 2 free throws, as he's 89% from the stripe.
21 points for him. Substitution, 34. J.R. Reed is in. Going out is Steve Bucknall. 78-55 is the lead for North Carolina. North Carolina, number 4 in the AP and the UPI in the polls. Ball will be out of bounds to Purdue. Boilermakers open the Big Ten season on Saturday afternoon. They play tomorrow night. At the moment, it looks like Towson State in the consolation game. From behind, Mitchell is fouled by Joe Wolf.
The job that they do, and without getting into foul trouble.
Mitchell shoots only 65% from the stripe. Gets his 11th point tonight. Purdue 16 of 23. 7 of 9 for Todd Mitchell. Purdue's leading shooter, Todd Mitchell, at 12, averages 17-7. Wolf down, uses up the dribble, gives it out to Popson. Lee knocks it away but fouls. 3 on Doug.
35, shooter. Thank you.
And then has hit 4 in a row. Excellent free throw shooter. Missed only 1 in 19 attempts coming into the game, but misses again here, and Lee gets the rebound. Everett Stevens guarded by Kenny Smith. Roy Lewis bounces it into Arnold, now to Stevens. 3 points. Everett Stevens gets his second three-pointer here in the second half. 79-60 in favor of North Carolina. Lebo with the ball, hands it underneath to Kenny Smith, turns around, puts it up. No, Arnold rebounds. Arnold intimidated him a little bit that time, throws it down here to Mitchell. Mitchell stops, shoots it up there. No, and the rebound is by J.R. Reed, and a foul on Lee. 4 on him. 16 out of 25, and J.R. Reed has been to the line 3 times and made 1 of those. He has 11 points. And a foul in the battle for the rebound. It'll be on Wolf. Title game of the Dallas Morning News Basketball Classic tomorrow night. But Arnold missed it. Kenny Smith will bring it down for North Carolina. Kansas State on Saturday night had a little trouble getting out of Kansas City. In the back door, Kenny Smith. That's 23 for Kenny, his best game of the year. His career best. He had 22 once last year and already had 22 here this year. Here's J.R. Reed with a rebound for North Carolina. Lebo from 3. Lebo, second three-pointer tonight. He has 13, and it's 84-60. So much for the second ranking in the country, right?
Well, Boilermakers had him back to 19 a moment ago, and all of a sudden, boom, it's 24.
Lee's three-point attempt would not stay in. 6.5 minutes to play in this one. And Carolina with a 24-point spread. Kenny Smith and Stevens is on here. J.R. Reed, great touch again. J.R. Reed with 13 and a foul.
Great pass by Kenny Smith. Jeff Arnold had his head turned while the ball was in the air. The ball goes in. Arnold picks up number 5.
33 at the line is J.R. Reed. Not the only place he's had trouble. Made 1 out of 5. Lee from 3. It's his second three-pointer tonight. He has 18. It matches his previous high this year. His career best is 20. 6 minutes left to play in this one. 23-point lead for North Carolina. And Zeno Smith comes out to Williams. Bucknall feeds it out to J.R. Reed. And Zeno Smith. Stevens is on him. And a double dribble. Now we're going to have a timeout called, an official timeout with 5:48 left to play in this one. You're watching Purdue basketball on the Farm Bureau Insurance Basketball Network. It is North Carolina 86, Purdue 63. Down 23. Here comes Purdue. Stevens on the dribble. Roy Lewis has been held scoreless in the second half, has only 9. In every game so far this year, he's been in double figures. Mitchell from 3. Lewis and McCants go after it. Neither can get it. North Carolina comes up. J.R. Reed lays it off to Ranzino Smith. No. Bucknall follows through. Scores. First basket for Steve Bucknall. And Carolina is approaching its offensive average of 98.4. Purdue nowhere near its average of 87.9. Into McCants. He missed it. Mitchell rebounds. Puts it up and in. Mitchell with 14. 65-88. Well, we said Lee would have to have a good game, but the slack fell off elsewhere, Bob.
And we expected that some other folks would play their normal ball game, and North Carolina saw to it that some of the rest of the Boilermakers did not have such a fine night, as Kip Jones comes into the lineup replacing Todd Mitchell. And although Lee has had just a tremendous night shooting from the three-point range as well as the two-point area, the Boilermakers as a whole have just not had any luck offensively against North Carolina. And they just have not been able to inhibit at all Kenny Smith and stop what he does so well, as he ended up thus far with 23 points and who knows how many assists.
Mitchell has 14, but only 6 of those from the field. Bucknall with the ball. Lee is on him. Keeps it down low. Purdue makes the steal. Everett Stevens comes up with the ball, lays it down here to Lewis from 3. Wouldn't stay in there. Kip Jones can't get the rebound. J.R. Reed does. 3-on-2. Mitchell, rather Stevens makes the steal, and now a foul is going to be called on Scott Williams.
J.R. Reed has been leading the fast break the last minute or two, coming down the middle.
Stevens will be there. 17 out of 25 for Purdue. Stevens is 0 for 1. Has 11 points. 88-66. Here's the substitution. Tony Jones is going to come back in for the Boilermakers, and the freshman from Fort Wayne will replace Troy Lewis, and Lewis has only 9. His string of double-figure games may end here.
Troy has not had a lot of luck from the field. The shots are going up nice. They're just a little off the mark.
There's Everett Stevens. The official stat sheet, because we did not believe that he had 11 in the first half. So before I say he didn't get double figures, we'll have to probably recheck those figures from the official stats. Bucknall is in trouble, but gets it away to Williams. Outside to Bucknall. Bounces low. Hobson puts it up. No. Battle for the rebound, and a foul is going to be called on Scott Williams. Look at that one again, Bob.
You see North Carolina. Watch them go to the board here. I don't know if you see it or not. Look, 3 guys on the inside. Fortunately, it was number 21 Everett Stevens who had inside position as Williams went over the top.
He's 2 out of 3 tonight. Has 12 points. J.R. Reed pulls it off.
Darn near knocked all the air out of the ball. He really ripped that one.
Will and Deb in Dallas. Hope everybody in Lafayette. They say hello to them. Over the back is Mel McCants.
The tapes and the films of the ball game between now and the time that they play again, or play in the conference for the first time, but the Boilermakers will be making some changes in their defense and probably with their offense as well.
That's 14 points for J.R. Reed, but only 2 of 3, 4, 6 at the free throw line. Abe Hobson goes out. Curtis Hunter, I think, came back in. Or is it Pops? 45. Marty Hensley. 89. 67. Here is Stevens with a 3-pointer. It is his 3rd of the night, and it's a 15-point game for him. And basketball classic. Everett Stevens just hit his 3rd 3-pointer of the night there. As we take a look at it again, Purdue back into live action. Kip Jones with the ball. That often left it. Here's a bounce to Everett Stevens. Drives down, puts it up and in, and there's also a foul on the play. Everett was charging on the play, I think. Did the basket count or not? It did. But he was also guilty of his Norwood. Lee takes it away. Kip Jones. Fisher.
Straight up, man. Straight up.
Missed it. Rebounds by Norwood. Bucknall brings it out for Carolina. Throws it out to Reed. JR lays it out to the right. Bucknall with a shot. No. Scheffler rebounds. Fisher throws it up quickly to Kip Jones. Drives. Short jumper. Goaltending. Kip Jones' first field goal of the night. 4 points. 89-74.
There's Kip with the shot, and who else? J.R. Reed up high to knock it away, but it's a goaltend as Rosino Smith comes back into the lineup replacing Bucknall, who goes out. And I tell you, this J.R. Reed is going to be some kind of ball player in the years to come.
Here's the ball in to Smith. Rosino. J.R. Reed gets the ball. Tony Jones is on him. 2:38 to play in the game.
Boilermakers got some career bests out of their players tonight, but they just weren't able to make it as a team.
Reed missed it. Lee rebounds. Fisher sends it up quickly to Tony Jones. Tony goes down, looks for help, comes out to Lee. Goes inside to Scheffler, back to Fisher. Kip Jones on the drive. Drives up there, no foul. And it'll be, I believe, on Kinsler. He'll try two here. Purdue unofficially is 19 out of 28. 17 out of 31 for Carolina. And Coach Smith, who substitutes a lot, is going to bring in 4 here in a moment. That's 5 for Jones.
That's an awfully interesting move. I guess maybe you think the ball game maybe is not won with 2:25 and you're up by 14, but I tell you what, it looks to me like they're running the score up.
They bring Wolf back in and Popson back in. There's Jones at the line looking for 6th point of the night and gets it.
Kenny Smith came back in too, Joe.
And so now it's 89-76. Purdue's whittled the lead down to 13. Ball will be out of bounds to North Carolina. Purdue has lost 2 players, Everett Stevens and Melvin McCants, with fouls. Scott Williams has gone out with, and Jeff Arnold also.
Troy Lewis back in, replacing Tony Jones for Purdue.
Fisher put a hand on the back and then knocked the ball away from Kenny Smith. It'll be out of bounds to North Carolina. 2:20 to play in this one. J.R. Reed with the ball. Lebo helps out. Comes down quickly to Wolf. 2:10 left. Kenny Smith. It's keep away time for Carolina. Here is Lewis making the steal. Lewis coming down. Lewis puts it up. Lewis can't get it to fall. But a jump ball before. Right? The ball will be out of bounds to North Carolina. Here is the ball to Kenny Smith. It is keep away time again with 1:50 to play and a 13-point lead for North Carolina. Hunter with the ball. Here is Troy Lewis with the foul. And at the free throw line will be North Carolina. A 1 and bonus. First time he's been there tonight. 13 out of 19 at the stripe this year. We have a foul going to be called, I believe, on Wolf, maybe. Scheffler, 4 out of 10 this year at the line. First time he's been there tonight. Jump ball, Purdue's basketball. Boilermakers basketball down 89-76. Well, they kept plugging away. They were down 20-some-odd points at one stage in the game. Now we're going to have a Carolina timeout with 1:39 to play. You are watching Purdue basketball on the Farm Bureau Insurance Basketball Network. It's North Carolina 89, Purdue 76. 9-1, and Purdue will drop to 8-1 or 7-1. Fisher gets the inbounds play. Goes inside. Kip Jones put it on the floor. And the foul from behind, and it'll be on Joe Wolf. If that is the case, I think that'll be his fifth. Kip Jones with 6. .77 now for Purdue. Down by 12. Jones hits his 8th. Purdue's down by 11. Pressuring all over the court. Lebo throws it down. Hunter goes for the easy one. He's got 4. And it's 91-78. Tony Jones back. Kip Jones tips no. And the foul on Kip Jones, his second.
Well, Popson got away with a big elbow.
Shooting performances at the free throw line. Missed another one. Popson. Here's Lewis to Fisher from 3. No. Lee keeps it alive, and now we got a foul inside. It'll be called on Carolina, and I think that'll be on Popson. Lee, the senior co-captain, along with Tim Fisher. He misses. Carolina brings it down with a minute left in this one. Kenny Smith with 23 tonight, his career best. Lebo outside. Tony Jones is on him. Here's a foul on Troy Lewis. So we'll go to the line with Carolina. 13 for it. Dave Popson 59% from the field, 95% from the line, gets his 14th point of the night. 93-78. Lewis misses. J.R. Reed rebounds through the traffic, throws it out to Kenny Smith, and a foul on Kip Jones. Goes and made 2. There's J.R. Lewis gets it. 3-on-1. Lewis comes down. And it is rejected by J.R. Reed. Ooh, man, what a play.
Super job. The big guy came from way underneath the basket at the other end. Here it comes. There you see Troy Lewis trying to make the move, and Reed just slaps it away.
And J.R. goes out. Now he starts out, and the Coach Dean Smith sends him back in. Curtis Hunter did go out. Now coming out is Kenny Smith. So it'll be Lee to throw it in for the Boilermakers underneath the basket. It's out to Tony Jones. To Lee from 3. Rebounded there by Rodney Hyatt, who just makes his first appearance. Lee reaches in and fouls him. Lots of free throw shot tonight. Or this is Hyatt, I'm sorry, at the line. He makes his first point of the night. Rodney Hyatt, 5'7.5" freshman. Walk on, but he earned a scholarship. This one is missed. Here's Troy Lewis from 3. Yes, that would have been a 3-pointer anywhere. That was outside the green line, the pro line there. 94-81. 1 second. The game is over, and North Carolina has triumphed over Purdue here tonight in the Morning News, Dallas Morning News Basketball Classic. So that puts North Carolina into the championship game against SMU, and Purdue will play Towson State tomorrow night. We'll continue our postgame show after we hear from our local stations. This is the Farm Bureau Insurance Basketball Network.
Life.